did. It's almost like people attack their, or what you guys are referring to as auxiliary work, what I would refer to as just like bodybuilding type shit.
Yeah,
it's almost like
exactly.
they attack, like obviously like your bench, your squat, your deadlift, your clean, your whatever it might be, your snatch for you guys. It's like they attack the auxiliary work or the isolation work with the same intensity as that. And it's like, you couldn't be further from the point. So like, we're trying to like make these like smaller muscles fire. We're trying to get these things to engage that don't maximally engage when they fire at a certain point and then they shut off because other things take over. Right. So it's like, I understand what you're saying with that. Cause I was kind of making a video about that today. It's like, I was making a video today about tempo and like in the lift and like how people are like, the demonstration I was giving was dumbbell pressing, how I promote this like rocking feeling where I'm squeezing into my upper back and rocking and falling away from my press. So it's like a lot of people, when I demonstrate it to them, they're thinking that I'm just like, because my dumbbell position is here, they're like just collapsed here. And their head's up and then they just push their head back and they let it fall. And I'm like, no, you have to imagine like tension across, like you're holding a bar. And like, I'm creating an imaginary line of tension in my chest and my rib cage are up and my sternum's up. So I'm creating that tension across and I'm able to flex through and squeeze pec. I'm not just trying to move weights in a straight line and drop them down, right? Like the whole idea of being able to articulate with two independent stimuluses with the dumbbells is to be able to create that squeeze in, right? And engage like inner pec. That's why a lot of guys don't have inner pec. Just because everything is this out wide press and just this A to B up and down. It's like you have to send that contraction across to mid pec, right? In order to engage here, I have to maximally contract. I can't get it out here.
Right.
Like I'll send in like a little signal, like this glimmer of hope, and then it goes away. I'm like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So it's just like, I mean, I understand what you guys are saying with like this. It's almost like you gotta teach people to like downshift for this auxiliary work. So it's like, we need to stop thinking in terms of like, chill the fuck out.
Right.
I mean, they're not pedaling the bike like a fucking crazy person. We're just cruising on a beach cruiser. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, they all look like Tommy Boy getting all wound up. That's actually a really high level conversation that I think a lot of people don't miss. Even like high end bodybuilders, powerlifters, people who have a decent amount of, a decade of training. When you're starting to talk about, and your videos are excellent. You break some of this stuff down and you talk about that rocking motion too, and like a lat pull down type of movement. And it's kind of like the next level when you talk about doing isolating a muscle or turning on a specific spot. I don't think a lot of people, that kind of leads into some of the questions I have. I don't think a lot of people are making that or think to even play with that. I think that's just part of it, is everyone gets stuck in these fixed motions and thinking the more controlled I can be in that fixed motion, the better. And I think that's a lot ingrained from those big compound movements. And then they carry over that to the secondary work, however you want to classify it. I mean, all of the work is work in bodybuilding. I think that's why my mind treats everything the same in a lot of ways. It's just a matter of the intensity technique, I guess you're going, or the tempo and those kind of things too. No, that's really, I enjoy that stuff because I think that's something that's missing from a lot of movements. And I think there's a lot of creativity to be put into movements, thinking in the terms that you're talking about, where you're moving your body along with the joint that you're actually trying to, train.
And getting people to like, it's odd because like, it's almost like you have to relearn how to do stuff with people, because you have to almost like, I don't know if this is a technical term or not, but it's something I use. Like, I have to discover like what your first mover is. So like, I'm doing a press, yes, but like, where is the weight sitting? It's on my palm. So which is engaging my back, which is locked into my lats, which is my chest is now up and my shoulders are depressed. It's like, but am I just going to come out of that? Or am I going to like feel my palm move through the dumbbell or move through the bar and then extend away and squeeze out, right? So like it's almost like you have to teach people, like, especially on back stuff, like everyone treats back development like it's like some fucking Da Vinci Code, like impossible fucking thing you can't figure out. It's so fucking simple, man. It's like, learn how to maximally extend and then how to grab and squeeze through. It's like, and get your chest up, sternum up, get your shoulder down. don't pull to your ear, don't fucking jack in here. Like, and it's completely lost on people. And you see these assholes like fucking hanging off Watson fucking pull downs. And like they're holding in this, like, yes, of course you want your shoulders back and your like scapula retracted and your thing up and you want to squeeze in here. But I'm also not maximally stretching my lat by just going like this. And you can't isolate that. It's not a bicep, man. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work in one plane. And it doesn't work. It works being stretched and being engaging and lifting up from maximally lengthened positions. And then you can get into like more squeezing and understanding that my back's closing and opening, right? But it's like these guys all like the gym that I'm at, I'm fucking surrounded by these people that are just like over complicating everything. It's not that simple. It's not that difficult, man. And it's like, I say this before, I don't mean to drag on, but it's like,
No.
When it comes to like you guys deal with athletes or you've dealt with athletes, it's like when I teach a guy how to fucking tackle someone, I don't break it down by parts after a certain point. Yes, I want to tell them square up. I want to put my head in his chest. I want to wrap. I want to lift, and I want to come down, or I want to scoop, feet drop.
Sure.
But you don't go to tackle the guy and go, you know what I mean? I don't think about it. I just fucking do it. Right? Like,
right.
And I don't swing up. Guys work on baseball bat, like on their swing. I'm sure they start here and they turn bang. And they work on rotation, right? Like little techniques. But then at some point, the ball's got to come and you've got to hit the fucking thing. A full go. So like, yes, you can ingrain these little twitches and get these like the step and the turn of my hip and all this stuff like a golf swing too. But at some point, you got to take the training wheels off and you got to fucking move. And you hope that that's ingrained. And then you can take assessment of where you've gone from where you were before to where you are now with these little things you try to implement. And then it's like, okay, now we need to work on this. We don't need to work on all that stuff.
No.
We need to work on this now. Now it's just the toe, where the toe off is, or where my line of sight is, or like how my angle of my shoulder, right? Like, it's just blowing my mind that like, and bodybuilding is the only sport where they're told not to have a sequence of movement. It's like, get as rigid as fucking possible and just flex on one muscle. And like your tricep, like I'm like, it's like my tricep is not even working here.
Yeah.
That's like, if I'm not stretching up, if I'm not reaching and my elbow's not rocking back and forth, I'm not flexing down on tricep maximally. So it's like, it's just like, it blows my mind to me. I don't mean to get frustrated, but it's like everyone is the fucking same. I don't know where it came in bodybuilding. I'm sure it's like, there's stuff you guys see in your own individual worlds where it's like, where did this come from? Like, who made people think this way? Or like, so-and-so said it in 1955.
Right.
And training's come so far from then, but